I quit, Richie. I really like how they got there with the whole Mark Henry angle of it all, and then the next week later, they're tying it to an I Quit match. What's your overall feelings on how we got to this I Quit match, starting wherever you want of AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes?
I mean, it's unconventional, you know what I mean? Because we had a interlude feud in between all of this, with the Logan Paul
Yeah,
Cody Rhodes situation that didn't necessarily make storyline sense. Personally, in my head canon, it was because Logan Paul gifted WWE the Prime sponsorship, so that's where my head went. But I don't think they could say that on television. But you have AJ Styles and you have Cody Rhodes in this storyline. And it's nice to see AJ in a prolonged story because last year felt like he was in his filler year where things were happening, but not much motion was going on. And with Cody Rhodes, there was a big criticism about his championship reign not having any stories. You know what I mean? You had the match with AJ, you had the match with Logan. Now we're back to AJ, and now we're in this I quit scenario. I do like how we got here, the tie-in with the whole Mark Henry retirement angle.
yeah,
We even got Cody Rhodes saying the words "I quit," so I imagine that's going to be a la Rock Mankind and Rumble
that'd be
'99. We might get that. We might get a John Cena Miz Over the Limit 2010 spot in there. I really hope not, but
nah.
it's really bold for AJ to accept this match with a guy who wrestled inside Hell in a Cell with a torn pec in story. So how are you going to make the guy quit? Is my answer.
I don't think you do make him quit. I think you have to do something dastardly to kind of get there. I'm not sure what that would be, but I really like the route how we got here. I like the idea of it, but I don't know if I necessarily like the timing with AJ, and I'm not sure if I like the timing of the stipulation of AJ because they got this fresh coat of paint on AJ, the whole Mark Henry retirement, and like you said, he's coming off of a kind of a rebound year, so to speak, and for him to lose his third pay-per-view match in a row, including that's just this year that I can remember. I'm sure it's deeper than that if you want to go to the Royal Rumble and so on and so forth. I couldn't tell you the last time he won a pay-per-view slash PLE match. Perhaps maybe when they were pay-per-views, Richie Mars.
Mm.
But anyways, it's just like, all right, this fresh coat of paint on AJ, and then we're gonna have him go out there and quit, not just lose, but quit. So I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I'm quite being pretty markish with that remark, but overall, I'm very curious of how they get to the result of this match. And these guys had an absolute classic 2 months ago, so I'm very, very optimistic that with this stipulation on top of it, that we're in for another classic, so to speak.
I'm interested too. Again, when you already set the bar extremely high from an in-ring standpoint, what do you go from there? You either try to top yourself or you go in the completely different direction, which is what we're doing with the I quit match stipulation. It's going to be a more brawling type of match. And I think AJ Styles is actually underrated in that department, being a brawler. We've seen the memes over the past couple of months of AJ Styles, his new body. He looks bigger, better than ever.
Yeah.
So it should be a tribute to this matchup. And with Cody Rhodes, there's still the jury's still kind of out with his championship run. If people are gravitating towards it, and it's a pretty big run to follow, well, the one where he defeated Roman Reigns. So I feel like a lot of people aren't giving him the chance to get out of the gate, no matter how much he's been champion. I think he's been champion for a little over 2 months, a little over 60 days, and does it feel like it? Does has he been delivering as champion? In ring, I would say yes. Storyline wise, I would hesitate to even grade it, as a C because you had Cody Rhodes kind of like doing his victory lap, so to speak, and now we're seeing more of the aggression side Cody Rhodes, not the emotional Cody Rhodes that's been memed to death. So this match is definitely on my radar of curiosity.
Yes. So just for the record, Clash of the Castle will be the 69th day of Cody Rhodes's WWE title reign. Just to kind of
Nice, nice.
put a little perspective on your 2 months or whatever, so to speak. So yeah, right in the ballpark for that. And it will be his fourth his third defense of the championship. So we're in a good spot with Cody. He hasn't really missed yet. This, like I said, France was epic. Logan Paul, King and Queen of the Ring, was very good. Don't get me wrong. And now here we are with AJ. All right, so you hinted of a dusty type finish slash Royal Rumble 99 with the I Quit nonsense. If we get something wonky with that, do you think it's a way to result in a new champion, or do you think it's a way to result in getting to a third match at maybe Money in the Bank? What's your thoughts on if we get that weird, wonky I Quit result you kind of hinted upon?
I think they just kind of restart it, and because we have Nick Aldis as the authority figure right now, and he's no dumb person as they were portraying other authority figures on TV, where it's like, oh, guess referee's decision is final. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think we might be hitting at that this week's TV, if not on the show itself, to kind of blockade that from happening. And you could get a third match hypothetically, but an I Quit match, if it's like, hey, AJ quit or something like that, it's pretty much like this is where we're ending the feud. It's a feud ender, because how do you bounce back from an I Quit match? Usually that is you're done. You either go somewhere else or you go to a different feud. And with the I Quit stipulation, who knows if AJ even stays on SmackDown? Maybe he goes to Raw. Maybe he goes to NXT. Maybe he goes to another company that having a little tie-in crossover promotion that they've had history in. Who knows?
All right, so the retirement angle was a first chapter of his journey, so to speak, and this is just kind of a button on that feud that got him there. All right, I feel that vibe, and I kind of like it overall. I think AJ Styles isn't really necessarily close to being done, maybe in a few years or so, but not. I don't think intimate. And Cody Rhodes' title reign is hopefully just getting started, so to speak. But overall, what do you think we get? Not to veer too far away off this match, but overall, what do you think we get at SummerSlam for Cody Rhodes? Say he were to win at the Castle
Uh,
and Money in the Bank.
it's tough because I feel like with Cody's reign, it's like a waiting game, so to speak, because they tease the Rock match night after WrestleMania. So in your head, you're like, well, he's not dropping this thing until The Rock comes back. Even though The Rock said, even if you're champion or not, The Rock's coming for you. And the thing is, the biggest match to do that's not Rock and Roman is Rock Cody for the championship. And I feel SummerSlam is a little bit too early, so to speak. I think with SummerSlam, we get. I'm not even sure if we get Randy right away either, because with Randy, he's probably going to be with KO with the Bloodline for a little bit, at least.
Yeah,
So
it's
for me, I think maybe we get a solo Sokoa if he develops that much for a SummerSlam, depending on how the Bloodline story is doing. Could we get another mega match between Cody and possibly LA Knight? Who knows? You got a lot of different variables out there. And I think for sure, I'm not sure if they do Cody and Rock at SummerSlam. I think they wait for WrestleMania. I think knowing Rock and knowing Roman, they want to elongate this bloodline story for as long as possible. And if it goes to Vegas to Mania, it goes to Vegas for Mania. I don't think SummerSlam is the right place for Cody and Rock personally, even though that would speed the story along. I think they're going to take their time with this. I think they're going to prolong the Roman Reigns babyface turn, because you don't even need to turn Roman babyface until next year, hypothetically. You know what I mean? And he even has shoes coming out that's called The Bloodline in January 2025. So why would his shoes be called The Bloodline if he's out of the Bloodline? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
just trying to piece together. I think with Cody, the most likely one would probably be Randy, all that said and done, depending on Randy's situation and condition. But again, everything's a toss up right now because SmackDown doesn't have a glowing, obvious challenger for Cody.
Well, first of all, I hope that those Bloodline sneakers are still intact. I thought I saw that they were canceled, but who knows with fake news and all that stuff. But yeah, I think it's Randy, maybe Kevin Owens in like
Maybe, yeah.
so either one of those, perhaps. But overall, I'm optimistic that Cody Rhodes will continue on here, being the face of the company, ascending up the ranks in history with the WWE superstars, as like his name's going to keep jumping up, kind of like Roman's did, so to speak. So I think Cody best years are in front of him. So overall, I know you're a big Cody Rhodes fan. It was good to kind of get you on here to talk about Cody. But what else is going on in the land of Richie Mars?
Big week this week. Of course, Wrestling Retold and Relive with Richie Mars. That's the podcast where I have lovely guests like you, Ryan, like other people from the wrestling sphere, and where they pick the topic, I research it, and we just talk about it for an hour or so. This week's episode is on Joshi Wrestling.
Oh,
So
interesting.
if you're going to Forbidden Door, if you're watching Forbidden Door for the first time and you're wondering what Stardom is, what Marigold is, this is the episode for you. I also have past episodes from other topics, like last week's episode was on Peacemaker, the John Cena television show. The week before that, we had a bunch of other episodes, like we had Bryan Danielson and Bray Wyatt, the entire feud, why it was the right feud at the wrong time. We also had a couple more, like we actually had a Cody Rhodes versus Rock debate before the whole Cody Rhodes giving up his spot to The Rock even happened, and is the most civil debate in wrestling history, in my opinion. And I'm not just saying that. There was no yelling, no shouting, just ideas coming together. And that's what I like. Also, on TikTok and Instagram, at Retold Richie Mars, I try to get 3 videos a day on current wrestling. Always try to take a level-headed take, non-biased. Even if I'm a fan of somebody, I'll just call it like I see it, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, what have you. And also have a couple of guest appearances along with this right here. I'm on the Snug Wrestling podcast talking about other news stories that broke within the past week or so. Also, I will be on Just Laying Down, JLD's podcast in the near future. Hopefully, it comes out this week. And I was also on a Fantasy Warfare series on how you would book an NXT TNA crossover show. And all those links will be on my Instagram page for the following week. So if you want to keep in touch of what I'm doing currently in the world of wrestling discussion, follow me at Retold Richie Mars on Instagram and on the TikTok.
Richie, I think you would be the definition of a whore. For you get around, buddy.
Hey man, when I'm in demand, I'm in demand. You know what I mean?
Strike while the iron's hot. Now, before we get out of here, the Joshi episode. Who is your guest?
It is Denard. He goes by Light Skin Gaijin on TikTok and on Instagram.
Very interesting, unique topic that I will definitely be sinking my teeth into there. So very cool.
All right. Thank you so much, man.
All right, Richie. For now, buddy, we'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for having me.